This is a slaughterhouse. From Seymour to my beloved mother Stella. Fishburne, that sneaky bastard. Good evening, Mr. Fishburne.
Yeah.
I have retrieved the gift for your mother, sir.
Great. Give it here then and take this for your trouble.
I also found the corpses. The ones under which you left the necklace, Mr. Fishburne.
Ah, so that's where I left it. I can be a bit stupid sometimes.
Have you no remorse? You don't even deny your crimes.
I have many weaknesses, Dr. Reed, but lying about who I am ain't one of them.
You're not a mindless animal, Seymour. Surely you have something to say about these murders. Speak up and I will listen without judgment.
Could be right, Dr. Reed. Maybe it'll do some good to confide in a gentleman like you. You being educated and all.
Tell me about your victims, Seymour. Who were they? Why them? Was there a link?
Why should there be? They just kept getting on my nerves at the worst times, that's all.
How many? How many victims?
It's not like I keep records. It happens when it happens.
You feel nothing, do you? No empathy for your victims at all?
You seem pretty calm yourself, don't you?
We're not talking about me.
All right. Well, our calm's the only thing we have in common then.
Did you take pleasure in killing them, Seymour? All those people, all those lives extinguished.
I take no pleasure from it. Just gives me peace. Stills the anger. For a time.
This rage you feel, have you ever been able to control it? Resist it?
I tried. For my mum, I tried for her. Telling the truth made me feel better. For a while.
Don't you think you should seek help? Talk to someone you trust, someone who cares about you.
No. And don't dare speak about me to your colleagues either. Keep your mouth shut tight. Especially about my mum.
Why is your mother protecting you, Seymour?
I'm her son. She's the only one who knows me. Sometimes I think she knows me better than I know myself.
I understand you love her, but can't you see the awful situation you've put her in?
Do you think my mum would have a better life if I were dead? She seems so sad to know me sometimes.
I don't believe death is the appropriate sentence for murder. Not in a civilized society. But the last word has to remain with the law.
There is no law around here. No justice to be found. In these parts, revenge is the only answer.
Have you heard anything?
I don't give a rat's ass about Sean Hampton.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
I will crush you!
It's locked, all right. It's locked, all right. Good evening, Mr.
Dr. Reed.
Goodbye.
I can't protect the whole city. It's hard enough to cover the docks by myself.
Good evening, Mr. Throgmorton.
Dr. Reed.
I'm afraid your posters were destroyed.
It cost me good money to print those posters. Such a pity people don't take the vampire menace seriously.
Did you really think the posters would be useful?
See the sad saint of the East End?
Tell me, Ichabod, why do you consider yourself the protector of Shornhampton Shelter?
He is a truly inspiring example. Dedicated, pious. His shelter is open to all, whoever they are. Most admirable.
Goodbye. This could be the public house Giselle Paxton mentioned. I should investigate further. Giselle's stolen money. Pre-one had... Some unethical ways of financing their war. It's locked.
Welcome back to my humble shelter, Dr. Reed. Are you here to subdue me again?
No, Sean. I just came by.
I feel all right.
Are you still feeding on corpse?
No. It's almost as though
Would you let me listen to you?
No, Dr. Reed. You already forced me.
It would help me greatly if you would allow...
I said no. I'm no subject of medical examination, and I intend only to obey and to kneel before God.
Have you seen Harriet Jones since taking her to Old Bridget?
No. She is with the suit.
But why did she fake her own death?
I just lost her for a minute that night. When I found her, she had caused mayhem.
What happened then?
We ran here through narrow streets and backyards. She kept saying that someone was talking to her in the dark, offering to avenge her. But I saw nobody.
What happened at the Pembroke?
I guess we recognized each other. As Scals, I mean. She had but one thought. To punish. To get revenge upon everything and everyone. I realized I had to bring her here quickly.
How did you meet?
When younger, I used to patrol.
Had you already visited?
Just once, and very briefly.
You really are a saint, Sean.
Oh, no, sir, I'm not. But I know evil, and I believe goodwill and tenacity can...
How is the sand?
I think it's acceptable.
How are things in your shelter? Between the mortals and the immortals, I mean.
Even if we're all children of God.
What do you...
A few years ago, a Skal decided to make...
What if food became scarce? Wouldn't the immortals in your flock be tempted to feed on the living? Wouldn't you?
The Skals can feed on the dead, Doctor. And until Judgment Day, mortals will continue dying.
Farewell, Sean.
Hope Giselle will pull through. Glad to see.
Do you have... Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
You again?
I've identified...
I knew it!
Yes, here it is. They thought...
I never thought a man like you would be kind enough to... I misjudged you.
Will you give the money back to...
Fuck those bastards who fired me.
Giselle, tell me about the death of your mother.
After our father died, Mother worked so hard she made herself sick. We spent all the money we had on useless drugs and doctors.
Hell.
The three of us were exhausted and desperate.
You should talk to your sister.
I don't want to talk about that. It was years ago.
I know you were friends with Miss...
Jack's murder has been a...
Why is that?
They're his old...
Who killed him? Who killed him?
No one will ever know. One thing is certain. While Jack was alive, I had one less reason to drink.
Why does that upset you so much?
I wish I had found the time and words to tell him how important he was to me before it was too late. And
Well,